Okay, let's unpack this. A massive wave of AI news just hit the tech world, mostly out of Google's annual I/O conference.
Hmm.
It felt less like small updates and more like Google just, turned on the fire hose for AI across everything they're building.
Yeah, it really did. And at the same time, you've got all this interesting discussion and movement around Palantir.
Exactly. Another company super focused on AI, but in a pretty different part of the market.
That's right. You've got the giant Google pushing AI into, well, billions of products, billions of hands.
Right. It's a fascinating moment, isn't it?
Right.
Seeing how these sort of different approaches might interact.
Absolutely crucial.
So today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that, this intersection. We're going to pull out the key insights from the news reports covering Google I/O 2025, and also the financial analysis, looking at Palantir's recent moves, and yeah, that head-turning stock performance too.
And our mission here is pretty simple, really. Just cut through all the noise, the announcements, the numbers, and try to understand what this Google AI explosion might mean for a specialized player like Palantir. And maybe more importantly, why this whole story matters for you, for anyone tracking where AI is actually, going.
Because it really does show us whether it's AI changing Google search or powering Palantir's platforms, just how fast this whole AI landscape is shifting.
Definitely.
So at Google I/O, the big theme they kept hitting was theory becomes reality.
Right.
They were showing AI moving out of the labs and directly into the products people use every day.
And the scale was just staggering. One of the biggest things was search, Google search itself.
Transforming it.
It's moving away from just keywords, isn't it, towards this conversational AI mode.
Totally. The sources talked about handling complex multi-step questions, analyzing images, even videos, pulling in real-time info.
It's a huge leap. And that deep search concept, generating expert-level reports by analyzing hundreds of queries.
Yeah, and integrating Project Mariner for practical stuff, like finding specific event tickets right now, or, and this is interesting, with permission, looking at your Gmail to suggest, say, events near your hotel.
Wow, okay.
Pichai called it a new era for search. Clearly feeling the heat from competitors like ChatGPT and Perplexity.
For sure. And it wasn't just search, was it? Gemini, their AI model, is just popping up everywhere.
Everywhere. Gemini Live, this screen sharing, camera sharing thing for live analysis, now free for everyone, including iPhone users.
Free and on iPhone. Okay, that's big reach.
Huge.
Yeah.
And they rolled out new generative models, too, VO3 for video, which they said is the first to natively create sound effects and dialogue along with the video.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
That is a big step. Sound and dialogue natively.
And Imagen 4 for images, supposedly super detailed textures, 2K resolution, ready for printing and stuff, plus a tool called Flow for AI film creation just using language prompts.
Yeah.
And to get the top-tier versions, they launched new membership tiers. Google AI Pro for about $20 a month.
Okay.
And Google AI Ultra at a much steeper price, like $250 a month. More usage, early access.
What do you get for that, besides more access?
Well, things like AI translation in Google Meet, interactive quiz creation. Oh, and a nice touch, free AI Pro for university students in some countries, US, UK, Brazil, others, with more coming.
That's smart. Hook 'em early.
Yeah. And one last really intriguing bit from Google. They're getting back into smart glasses.
Oh, wow, really? After Google Glass?
Yeah, but this time framed as Android XR glasses powered by all these AI advancements, partnering with Samsung on hardware, Gentle Monster on design, Warby Parker, too.
Interesting mix. Different approach this time.
Seems like it. They showed off things like real-time language translation, Spanish to English, right there on the lens.
Live translation, okay.
Or finding and navigating to, say, a ramen place, using maps overlaid on your view. And they really stressed comfort, aiming for something you could actually wear all day.
All day wear is the key, isn't it? That was the hurdle before. Okay, so that's the Google side, just this massive, broad AI push.
Right. So now let's pivot to Palantir. Their AI strategy is, well, it's fundamentally different.
Completely different focus. Palantir, their core is software platforms, Gotham for government, Foundry for enterprise, built to make sense of huge, messy data sets.
Exactly. And their AI place centers on their AI platform, AIP. They're not really trying to build the next foundational model like Gemini.
No, not at all. The focus is much more on data integration, analysis, automating decisions using AI. It's about domain-specific AI for sectors like defense, manufacturing, healthcare.
And crucially, they talk about being an orchestration layer.
Right, precisely. Think about it taking all these different AI models, maybe even Google's models eventually, and making them work securely with a company's super sensitive private data and existing workflows. That's incredibly hard.
Because the data's all over the place. Security is paramount.
Exactly. Data silos, security protocols, model compatibility. Palantir basically says, we provide the secure integrated plumbing so you can actually use various AIs on your critical data without breaking things or giving away secrets.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like being the AI conductor for complex enterprise needs. We've seen examples, right? Like their work with divergent technologies in manufacturing AI.
Additive manufacturing. Or with Archer Aviation for air traffic control, route planning, using Foundry and AIP, plus partnerships with folks like Databricks.
And this approach seems to be, well, working for them business-wise, at least recently. Strong Q1 results reported for 2025.
Yeah, revenue growth around 39%, and their U.S. commercial side grew, what, 55%? That's pretty significant.
Plus closing a lot of big deals, like 139 over $1 million, 31 over $10 million in just the last quarter.
So they have momentum, which brings us back to the core question.
Right. Does this huge AI expansion from Google, all these powerful new tools hitting the market, does that hurt? Or could it actually help a specialized player like Palantir?
It's complicated. The analysis we looked at points both ways.
Okay, so the positives.
Well, on one hand, Google's massive investment validates the whole AI space, right? It educates businesses about what AI can do, potentially boosting demand for serious enterprise AI solutions, like Palantir's AIP.
And those more powerful models, Google's releasing Gemini, VO, Imagen. Couldn't Palantir just integrate those as new tools within their orchestration layer, offering clients more options?
That's exactly the argument. Palantir's strength is integration. More tools could mean more power for their platform. Plus, Google's focus on things like on-device AI, edge AI, that aligns with Palantir's sweet spot, working in sensitive or disconnected environments. Think defense, factory floors.
And the responsible AI angle.
Yeah, Google emphasizing responsible AI plays right into Palantir's narrative around data governance. Security things companies absolutely need if they're deploying AI seriously.
Okay, but there have to be potential downsides, right? Competition.
Absolutely. The big one is Google's expanding toolkit, especially within Google Cloud AI, might tempt some companies to just build solutions themselves using Google's stuff.
Or just rely directly on Google Cloud, maybe cutting out the need for a third-party platform like Palantir?
Potentially, yeah. And just the sheer availability of powerful AI tech could eventually put price pressure on everyone in the market.
Okay, let's quickly touch on the stock and that valuation, because this is where market perception of Palantir's AI future gets really intense.
It really does. The stock hit all-time highs, but then dipped recently. Broader market stuff played a role too, of course.
But those valuation numbers analysts keep pointing to,
yeah,
they are pretty staggering.
Yeah, the sources mention as of late May, a price-to-sales ratio over 100 and a price-to-earnings ratio near 560.
Which is, I mean, layman's terms, investors paying over 100 times sales, nearly 560 times earnings per share.
Exactly. Words like astronomical or wildly out of proportion get thrown around in the analysis. The suggestion is the market has already baked in absolutely massive AI growth expectations.
And the criticisms often include reliance on government contracts still, and the impact of stock-based compensation on reported earnings.
Those are common points, yeah. It's a high-stakes bet on future execution.
So zooming out, why should you, our listener, care about this Google versus Palantir dynamic or these valuation debates?
Because it's not just about these two companies, right? It's like a real-time case study of how the AI landscape is shaking out.
Yeah.
It shows that even as the tech giants build these huge, all-encompassing AI ecosystems, there's still this argument for, and maybe a critical need for, specialized platforms. Players like Palantir who can handle the messy reality of integrating different AIs with sensitive, real-world data in tough environments.
It really highlights that tension, doesn't it? Between the incredible tech potential and how the market values that potential, and how quickly sentiment can shift.
Exactly. Understanding that dynamic just helps you stay informed, stay grounded, as this AI revolution keeps rolling.
It definitely leaves us with a big question to chew on. As AI gets woven deeper into everything by giants like Google, is the future of enterprise AI going to be dominated by their massive ecosystems?
Or will companies like Palantir, the expert orchestrators focusing on those complex data integration challenges, actually become more essential, finding their unique value proposition growing?
Yeah, it's a story that's definitely still being written.
Very much so.